Hello, I'm Craig Harris and today I'm going to do an unboxing video of the new Carisma GTB. This is the latest car in a line of off-road 1/16th vehicles by Carisma. You've probably seen the GT14B and the GT14B Pro. Well, this one's got a completely new chassis on it, so without further ado, let's get the box open. I'm lucky enough to be a Carisma Team Works driver, so I've got this kit ahead of most of the UK. It's been a long time in development. We've had this car on the go since 2011, before most people even knew about the Carisma GT14B Pro. So packaging, and the first thing we see is the newly designed wing and cab forward body shell. I've got a few profiles of that for you. Very large wing, as specified by our team drivers. We find that it makes the car far more stable, especially at high speed. But you can find with this scale of car the back end will flick out quite quickly because it's quite a short wheelbase. And here is the long awaited new body shell, which I think is quite spectacular. You can see the very short nose and the tall cab forward design. Always a little bit controversial, cab forward, and I've not always been a fan in the past, but it just handles so well, and I think this one looks absolutely stunning. Right, here we have the instruction booklet and a little decal sheet, as you might expect to find. A nice exploded diagram on the back showing you a list of all the part numbers and where all the bits go. Should you ever find you need to take it apart, there's a very nice step-by-step guide to help you put it back together. And your little Carisma decal sheet. Okay, so let's get the car out of the box and we'll have a good look at it. As you can see, it comes already built, as most of the Carisma cars do. They are built to a very high standard. The diffs will undoubtedly be very well built. I'll just show you those. All preset, so you don't need to be messing about setting those up. The belts are pre-tensioned, so again you don't need to be setting those up. They are set maybe a little on the loose side for some people, especially if you're running the higher powered 5700 kV motors or the 6800 kV motors. You may find a little bit of slipping, especially on the rear belt, but once you get the instructions out, you can see that inside the gearboxes there are an eccentric cam, which you can spin around and adjust the belt tension to however you like it set. I prefer mine set a little bit loose, and I compensate for it with the slipper clutch, which is a very similar clutch to the previous cars. This one you can adjust with the nut driver straight onto the end there, which makes it far easier to adjust. Let's get this box out of the way. In the box you also have your little T-spanner and some Allen keys, There's a servo hold down clamp and your servo horns and a spare T-spanner, some more Allen keys and body clips, and the little ball to go in the drag link for the steering, and your motor screws. Now, one thing you'll notice with these motor screws, they do have a very large head with a large washer already built into the screw. Now this is because on these cars they come with a plastic motor mount, which I can show you there. Now that keeps the cost down, obviously, and is fine for most people, whether you're bashing or racing, but if you're going to go out and you're going to go racing this car seriously, you're going to want to get the metal motor mount to go in there to dissipate some of the heat from the motor. Other parts of the car you're going to want to change. I would certainly recommend you put some CVDs in the front. This makes the drive much smoother when you're on full lock. The rear is not so important on the drive shafts. I run mine for quite a long time with those drive shafts in, and it works just fine. As you can see, lovely smooth transmission. The wheels spin very freely. In fact, I'd say as smooth and free, if not smoother, than the old shaft drive cars, which can only serve to be more efficient. And I find this car is definitely quicker in a straight line than the shaft drive. This is partly due to the transmission, the belt drive transmission being a lot more efficient. But this car also comes with a 2.25 to 1 drive ratio, as opposed to the 1.95 final drive ratio of the shaft car. Makes it far more suited to the off-road with the big heavy wheels and tyres. It pushes them along a lot easier. It makes the car far smoother to jump and land. The throttle response feels a lot less aggressive than the old car. Again, this is undoubtedly down to the belt drive transmission, which really soaks up some of the power distribution. A lot of people that I hear complain that the old car, the shaft drive car, was very snappy on the power. This one is far smoother, but because of that smoothness, I actually find the car accelerates faster, and will pick up out of the corners quicker because it's not wasting energy spinning the wheels. So there we go. You've got your receiver plate there, which most size receivers can fit on. I use one of the larger Futaba 2.4 gigahertz receivers, and that fits just fine up there. The motor will sit there, the speedo sits in here, and you can see the holes to mount the servo there. Now, one of the best features of this car, in my opinion, is that fantastic servo saver assembly. For a long time with this scale of car we've used servo savers mounted directly onto the servo, and they are notoriously unreliable. But this system, which is a far more conventional system, similar to the 8th and 10th buggies, you can see the adjusting nut on the bottom, and that is separated by 2 plastic parts there, which will actually rotate around each other. Far more effective system. We also have the steering rack system, which is different to the old car. we find that the steering response is far more precise than the other steering system. There's very little slop in that. The battery mounts are very nice. It will fit a stick pack straight in there. We have experimented with various different sizes of packs, and we find that a 102mm pack will fit straight into the car. It is a little bit of a squeeze, but it will fit in. Most of the team drivers are using a slightly smaller pack than that, but you have room to fit just about any of the common packs in there. If I pop that off, I'll show you the underside. You can see a nice little foam strip on there just to stop the batteries rattling about, and this little bracket on the side which stops the light post sliding out of the side of the car, which is most handy. You see on the underside of the car, this one has cross point type screws in the bottom, in fact all through the car, and we also have the GRP chassis and flexible top deck on this one, which is what comes out of the box. If you look at the amount of twist the car has, you can see that it is quite flexible. This makes the car easy to drive, far more forgiving. But again, there are plans for carbon fibre parts to be available. This will give you the option to tune the car to your needs, to how you like to drive the car, whether you like a stiff car or a flexible car. So that's about it. Give you a few shots of the car so you can see all around it. There we go. I hope you've enjoyed watching my video. Hopefully very shortly there should be some tuning videos that I'll be making, so please tune in again soon.